Captain June Kim stood straight as a rod in the meeting room. His dark uniform fit perfectly on his trim body. 20 years in the military had made perfect posture a habit. He watched the door with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Today was important. The first real meeting with the aliens who had come to Earth 3 months ago. Dr. Yun Park rushed into the room, her steps quick and light. She carried a tablet full of notes. "They're coming," she said to June. "Are you ready?" June nodded once. He didn't waste words or movements, never had. "Remember," Yun said, tucking a strand of black hair behind her ear, "these aliens value strength. They respect power. The Variks come from a world where everything is trying to kill everything else. So they'll feel right at home on Earth," June said with a small smile. The door slid open with a soft hiss. 4 tall figures walked in. They had to duck under the doorway. The Variks stood nearly 8 feet tall. Their bodies gleamed like oil on water, hard shells covering their insect-like forms. They walked on 2 legs but had 4 arms. Their heads had large eyes that seemed to be made of hundreds of tiny eyes all packed together. General Han entered behind them. He was the oldest human in the room, with gray hair and a face marked by years of tough decisions. He had been June's commander years ago. Now he led all contact with the aliens. "Captain Kim," General Han said. "May I present Chief Scientist, Tavol of the Variks Science Guild." The tallest alien stepped forward. Its mouthparts moved in strange ways when it spoke, but the translator pinned to its chest turned the clicks and hums into smooth Korean. "Captain Kim, we are pleased to meet a warrior of Earth." June bowed slightly. "The pleasure is mine, Chief Scientist." The second alien stepped forward. "I am Junior Diplomat Tizat. We have studied your planet from orbit for some time. It is interesting." The way Tizat said interesting made it sound like Earth was a strange puzzle. The group sat at the large round table. The Variks had special seats made for their different bodies. General Han started the meeting. "As agreed, today we will share information about our worlds. We hope this will build trust between our peoples." Chief Scientist Tavol's head tilted. "Yes, knowledge is the foundation of understanding." The next hour was filled with basic facts. The humans shared information about Earth's different countries, main languages, and forms of government. The Variks talked about their home planet, a world with stronger gravity and 3 moons. Then Tavol changed the subject. "We have studied Earth's life forms with great interest," the alien said. "Your planet has many dangerous creatures. We are curious. Which do you consider the apex predator?" The room got quiet. The other human scientists looked at each other. Everyone expected talk of sharks, bears, or big cats. June caught General Han's eye. The old man gave a small nod. "That's an interesting question," June said. He leaned forward, slightly. "But before I answer, let me tell you about something we call special forces." Dr. Yun gave June a sharp look. She knew what he was doing. She knew his past. The Variks leaned forward too. Their shiny bodies caught the light as they moved. "Special forces?" Tizat asked. "We do not know this animal." "It's not an animal," June said. "It's what we call certain humans." Tavol's forearms made a gesture the humans had learned meant surprise. "Humans? But you have no natural weapons, no claws, no poison. Your teeth are small, your skin is soft. How can humans be apex predators?" June smiled. Not a big smile. Just enough to show he knew something the aliens didn't. "That's exactly why. We became dangerous," he said. "Because we had to." June tapped his tablet. The big screen on the wall lit up. It showed a world map. "Humans started as weak creatures," he said. "We weren't the strongest or the fastest. We didn't have the best teeth or claws. Other animals could see better in the dark or smell better." "Yes," Tavol said. "This matches our studies. You were prey animals for many thousands of years." Some of the human scientists frowned at this, but June nodded. "In some ways, yes. But we had these." He tapped his head. "Our brains. We learned to work together. We made tools, we planned ahead." He tapped his tablet again. The screen showed early humans hunting together, using simple tools. "But that was just the start," June continued. "As time passed, we got better. We didn't just survive. We became the hunters. The images changed to show humans through history. People making better tools, building cities, creating weapons. Still, Tizat said, head tilted in what the humans now recognized as doubt. Your bodies remain weak compared to many Earth animals. True, June agreed, but we changed our world to suit us, and we changed ourselves through training. He nodded to General Han, who took over. The strongest among us, the general said, can lift more than 5 times their body weight. The fastest can run at speeds that would catch many prey animals. Some can hold their breath underwater for over 10 minutes. Tovol's body showed clear signs of doubt. These must be rare exceptions. They are not common, General Han admitted, but they show what is possible, and they are not the most dangerous humans. No? Tizat asked, clearly interested now. No, June said. The most dangerous are those who combine physical training with mental skills, those who learn to fight in ways that use the opponent's strength against them, those who plan and adapt. He tapped his tablet one more time. The screen showed soldiers in training, men and women moving through obstacle courses, swimming through rough waters, shooting targets with perfect aim. In my country, June said, we have a unit called the HFY Special Forces. I served with them for 10 years. These are your warriors? Tovol asked. Our elite warriors, June corrected. Every country has them. They have different names, Navy SEALs, SAS, Spetsnaz, but they all do the same thing. They train to become the best fighters possible. The room was quiet. The Variks watched the screen with all their compound eyes focused, intently. In my unit, June said softly. They called me Cobra. Tizat's body shifted. Cobra. We have studied this creature, a venomous snake that can strike very fast. Yes, June said. It doesn't look dangerous when it's calm. It's not the biggest snake, not the strongest, but when it strikes, few survive. General Han stood up. We believe in showing, not just telling. Captain Kim has prepared a demonstration for tomorrow. With your permission, we will show you why humans are the apex, predators of Earth. Chief Scientist Tovol stood as well, towering over the humans. We accept. We are curious to see what makes soft creatures so confident. As the meeting ended and the Variks left the room, Dr. Yoon walked up to June. You enjoyed that, she said. Seeing their reaction when you mentioned special forces, June allowed himself a small smile. Maybe a little. They don't understand yet, Yoon said. They think it's about physical strength. They'll learn, June replied, looking at the door where the tall aliens had just left. Tomorrow they'll start to understand what makes humans the most dangerous species on Earth. General Han joined them. Do you think they're ready to see what a Cobra can do? June's face became serious again. No. But sometimes the best lessons are the ones you're not ready for. The morning sun lit up the military training grounds outside Seoul. Dew still covered the grass. Birds sang in the distance. It looked peaceful. But June Kim knew better. This place had shaped him, changed him, made him the Cobra. The Variks delegation arrived in 3 black cars. The tall aliens stepped out, their shiny bodies catching the sunlight. They wore lighter clothes today, better suited for the outdoors. Tovol led the group, with Tizat close behind. Welcome, General Han said with a small bow. We are ready to begin. June stood nearby wearing a simple black uniform with no marks or badges. 8 other men and women stood with him in a straight line. They all had the same calm, watchful look, like tigers resting, but ready to pounce. These are former members of our special forces, General Han explained. They have all agreed to help with today's demonstration. Tovol studied the humans. They look ordinary. June stepped forward. That's the point, he said. We don't need to look dangerous to be dangerous. He turned to a large screen set up on the field. Before we show you what we can do now, let me show you how we become what we are. The screen lit up. It showed young men and women in military clothes. They were starting their special forces, training. This is from my own training 20 years ago, June said. I was 22. The aliens watched closely as the video showed the brutal training. Young soldiers crawled through mud under sharp wire while real bullets flew over their heads. They swam in icy waters for hours. They went days without sleep. They learned to fight with and without weapons. Is this normal training for humans? Tizat asked, her voice showing clear surprise. No, June said. This is special training, for those who choose to become elite warriors. Choose? Tvol's head tilted. They volunteer for this? Dr. Un stepped forward. Yes. No one is forced. They all want to be there. But why? Tizat asked. Why choose pain and hardship? June looked directly at the alien. To become the best, to protect our people, to see what we're truly capable of. The screen showed more footage. Soldiers learning to survive in deserts with almost no water, moving through thick jungles without making a sound, shooting targets from impossible distances. Your bodies are still fragile, Tvol noted. A bullet or blade will still kill you. True, June agreed. But first they have to hit us. He nodded to the men and women standing in line. They moved to different positions on the field. Now, June said, we will show you what humans can do. What followed amazed the Varaks. The Special Forces team showed skills that seemed impossible. 2 members fought with knives, moving so fast their hands were blurs. Others showed perfect shooting, hitting small targets while running or rolling. 2 more demonstrated how to move without making a sound, getting behind the aliens without them noticing. Impressive, Tvol admitted. But these are physical skills. Many predators have physical skills. June nodded. True, but our real strength is here. He tapped his head. Let me show you. He signaled to the team. They set up a mock hostage situation. 3 bad guys held 2 hostages in a small building. The team had to save them. Watch how they work together, June told the aliens. Watch how they communicate without words. The team surrounded the building. They used hand signals and body language to talk to each other. Each person knew exactly what to do. They moved like one mind in many bodies. In less than a minute, they had saved the hostages without firing a single shot they think is one, Tizat said, clearly impressed. They think as many, June corrected, each making their own choices but all working toward the same goal. The demonstration continued. The team showed how they could adapt to surprises, change plans quickly, and overcome much stronger opponents using smart tactics. After 2 hours, they took a break. The Varaks talked among themselves, clearly excited by what they had seen. June stood apart, drinking water and watching. Dr. Yoon joined him. They're impressed, she said, but I don't think they fully understand yet. No, June agreed. They see the skills but not the mindset. The Cobra mindset? Yoon asked with a small smile. June nodded. In the Special Forces, we learned that it's not about being the strongest. It's about being smart, quick, and deadly. When needed. Like a cobra, Yoon said. Yes. A cobra isn't the biggest snake, not the strongest, but it's patient. It waits. And when it strikes, it's usually the last thing its enemy sees. Tizat approached them, moving carefully on the uneven ground. The Varaks were not used to Earth's lower gravity. May I ask you something, Captain Kim? The alien asked. Of course. These skills, could any human learn them? June thought for a moment. The physical skills? Many could, with enough training. The mindset? Fewer, but still many. In our species, Tizat said, warriors are born not made. You either have the right body or you don't. That's the difference, June said. Humans aren't born warriors. We become warriors. Through choice, through pain, through never giving up. General Han called everyone back together. Now, he said, Captain Kim will show you why he earned the name Cobra. June walked to the center of the field. 5 of his former teammates surrounded him. They all held training weapons, not real ones, but still hard enough to hurt. Begin, General Han said. What happened next was almost too fast to see. The 5 attacked at once. June moved like water, never where the attacks landed. He struck back quickly, precisely. He used their own strength against them. In less than 30 seconds, all 5 were on the ground. June hadn't even breathed hard. This fighting style, he explained to the stunned aliens, is called Hapkido. It uses the attacker's energy against them. It turns strength into weakness. Like your species did, Tvol said slowly, understanding growing in his voice. You turned your weakness, no natural weapons, into strength by creating new ways to fight. Exactly, June said. We adapt, we learn, we improve. As the day ended and the sun began to set, the Variks prepared to leave. Tvol approached June one last time. I think I begin to understand why you compare yourself to this Cobra creature, the alien said. But there is still something I don't understand. What's that? These skills, this mindset. It makes you dangerous, yes. But the most dangerous on your planet? I am not convinced. June looked at the alien calmly. What you saw today were just the basics. Skills any good special forces soldier would have. There is more. Much more. But some things can't be demonstrated safely. Like what? June was quiet for a moment. Then he said, Let me tell you what makes humans truly dangerous. We can work together in huge numbers. We can plan for years. We can hate. We can love. We can sacrifice everything for an idea. He looked out at the training field, now empty as the day ended. A single Cobra is dangerous. A smart, organized group of Cobras working together for something they believe in. That's what makes humans the apex predator. Tvol was silent for a long time. Finally, the alien said, I hope we never have reason to be your enemy, Captain Kim. June looked the alien, in its compound eyes. So do I, he said simply. 1 week had passed since the training ground demonstration. The Variks had asked for time to think about what they had seen. Now they were back, and they wanted more. This time, they met at a special military base hidden in the mountains. Few people knew it existed. Even fewer had been inside. June arrived early, as he always did. The morning air was cool and crisp. They're on their way, General Han said, walking up beside him. Tvol has brought their military advisor this time. June raised an eyebrow. They're taking this seriously. As they should. The old general looked at the training course spread out below them. Are your people ready? June nodded. We've been ready for days. 3 large black helicopters appeared in the sky. They landed on the open field near the base. The Variks stepped out, moving carefully in their protective suits. Earth's air was too rich in oxygen for them to breathe comfortably for long periods. Tvol led the group as usual. Tazat followed close behind. But there was a new alien with them. This one was larger with a darker shell. It moved with the careful precision of a trained fighter. General Han, Captain Kim, Tvol said through the translator. May I present Military Advisor Kivax of the Variks Defense Force. The new alien stepped forward. Unlike the others, it wore what looked like armor over parts of its body. I have watched the recordings of your demonstration, Kivax said. Its voice was deeper than the others. I am interested in seeing more. June bowed slightly. We are happy to show you. They walked to a viewing platform overlooking a large training area. It looked like a small town, but all the buildings were empty shells. Practice targets shaped like people stood in various places. What you saw last week, June explained, was basic combat skills. Today we will show you how humans operate in real battle conditions. Dr. Yoon joined them, carrying tablets for everyone. These will let you follow the action, she explained. Each team member wears a camera. Kavak studied the tablet. Your warriors will fight each other? Not exactly, June said. They will complete a mission while another team tries to stop them. General Han spoke up. The mission is to rescue hostages from that building. He pointed to a 3-story structure in the center of the fake town. Team Alpha will try to save them. Team Bravo will defend. With real weapons? Tvol asked, sounding concerned. Training weapons, June explained. They hurt if they hit you, but they don't kill. Kovacs made a sound that the translator didn't catch. It might have been a laugh. "Begin," General Han said into his radio. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The town stayed quiet. The targets didn't move. "Where are your warriors?" Kovacs asked. "They're already moving," June said quietly. "Watch." On the tablets, they could see what the team members saw. One view showed a soldier crawling through a narrow pipe. Another showed someone climbing up the back of a building. A third was moving through shadows between structures. "They're invisible," Tazat said with clear amazement. "Not invisible," June corrected. "Just very good at not being seen." For 10 minutes, they watched as Team Alpha moved closer to the target building. They never used the same approach twice. They created distractions. They used the environment to hide their movements. Team Bravo was good too. They spotted some of the approaching soldiers and shot 2 of them with the training weapons. But they missed 3 more. "Your people are very patient," Kovacs noted. "Most warriors I know would have attacked directly by now." "Patience is a weapon," June said. "Sometimes the best attack is the one that comes when the enemy has grown tired of waiting." As if on cue, smoke suddenly filled the street in front of the target building. Flashbang devices created bright lights and loud noises. In the confusion, Team Alpha struck. They moved so fast it was hard to follow. 3 soldiers entered the building from different points at the same time. The tablets showed their progress inside. They moved room to room, taking down Team Bravo. Members with quick, precise shots. In less than 2 minutes, they had reached the hostages, training dummies placed on the top floor. They secured them and began their exit. "Most impressive," Kovacs said. "But this is a controlled situation. Real battle is chaotic." June nodded to General Han, who spoke into his radio again. Suddenly, the scenario changed. A loud explosion rocked. One side of the building. Part of the wall fell away. 2 Team Alpha members were injured according to the training system. "Now it's chaotic," June said calmly. On the tablets, they could see the team adapting instantly. They changed their exit route. One soldier carried an injured teammate. They used new tactics suited to the new situation. Despite the surprise, they still completed the mission. All hostages saved. Only 1 team member killed in the training exercise. When it was over, both teams gathered in front of the viewing platform. They were sweaty and tired, but they stood tall. "Questions?" General Han asked the Variks. Kovacs stepped forward. "In real combat with real weapons, would the results be the same?" One of the team leaders, a woman named Min, answered, "No. In real combat, we would have been even more careful. We took some risks today because this was training." "More careful?" Kovacs seemed surprised. "But you moved so slowly already." "Speed is good," June explained. "Survival is better." The military advisor turned to June. "You did not participate in this exercise." "No. I'm retired from active duty." "Would you demonstrate your personal skills? I have heard you are called Cobra for a reason." June looked at General Han, who nodded slightly. "Very well," June said. "What would you like to see?" Kovacs pointed to a separate training area. It held an obstacle course with walls to climb, ropes to swing on, and narrow paths to balance on. "This course, how fast can you complete it?" June looked at the course. "The record is 1 minute and 47 seconds. Set by who?" "By me. 15 years ago." Kovacs made that sound again, possibly a laugh. "At your current age, can you still—" Before the alien could finish, June was moving. He sprinted toward the course. His body seemed to flow over, under, and through the obstacles. He climbed walls like they were small steps. He swung across gaps with perfect timing. He balanced on narrow beams as if they were wide roads. He finished in 1 minute and 50 seconds. The Variks were silent. Even Kovacs seemed impressed. 3 seconds slower than my best, June said when he returned, not even breathing hard. "I'm getting old." Dr. Yun checked her watch. "Actually, that's the fastest time anyone has run it this year." "How?" Tazat finally asked. "How can a species with no natural weapons become so deadly?" June wiped sweat from his forehead. Because we had to, he said simply. On Earth, you adapt or you die. We chose to adapt. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the training ground, Kovacs approached June privately. I have seen many warriors from many worlds, the military advisor said, but I have never seen any quite like you humans. Is that good or bad? June asked. I'm not sure yet, Kovacs admitted, but I will tell my leaders this. If humans ever decide to use their full abilities in war, they would be very dangerous enemies. June looked the alien in the eyes. We don't want to be your enemies. What do you want to be? June thought for a moment. Partners, he said finally. Different species can learn from each other. Kovacs was quiet for a long time. Then it said, Tomorrow I would like to show you some Varix fighting techniques. Perhaps we can learn from each other. June smiled. I'd like that. As the Varix boarded their helicopters to leave, Dr. Yoon walked up beside June. They're starting to understand, she said. Yes, June agreed, but not completely, not yet. What don't they understand? June watched the helicopters rise into the darkening sky. That what makes us dangerous isn't our bodies or our training, it's what we're willing to fight for. And, what's that? Yoon asked. Each other, June said simply. Humans will do the impossible for people they care about. That's what makes us the apex predator. Not our teeth or claws, our hearts. The next morning began with excitement. Kovacs was going to show June some Varix fighting methods. Both human and alien teams gathered at the training ground, eager to learn from each other. Kovacs stood in the center of the training mat. The alien had removed some of its outer armor, showing more of its shiny exoskeleton. Our fighting style, Kovacs explained, uses our natural strengths. 4 arms, hard outer shell, strong legs. June nodded. He wore a simple black training outfit. Next to the 8-foot alien, he looked small. I am curious, Kovacs said, to see how your Cobra style matches against ours. They began slowly, each showing basic moves. The Varix style used all 4 arms in complex patterns. It was beautiful to watch. June's Hapkido was more simple looking, but every move had purpose. Dr. Yoon watched from the side with Tavol and Tizat. They're learning from each other, she said with a smile. Yes, Tavol agreed. This is good. This is how trust. A loud beep cut through the air. General Han pulled out a secure phone. His face turned serious as he listened. Stop the training, he called out. We have a situation. June immediately stepped back from Kovacs. Everyone gathered around the general. There's been an attack, General Han said grimly. The joint research ship New Horizon has been taken by pirates. The room went silent. The New Horizon was a special ship. It carried both human and Varix scientists studying the outer planets of the solar system. How many people on board? June asked. 23. 12 humans, 11 Varix. Tavol's body showed clear signs of distress. This was not part of our agreement, the alien said, looking at General Han with suspicion. No, it wasn't, June said firmly. These are pirates, criminals. They don't represent Earth or our governments. Who are they? Kovacs demanded. General. Han looked at his phone again. They call themselves the Free Space Coalition, a group that doesn't want Earth to make deals with alien species. Foolish, Tizat said. Do they not understand the benefits of working together? Fear makes people do stupid things, Dr. Yoon said softly. We need to act quickly, General Han said. The pirates have made demands. They want money and technology. They've given us 24 hours. Kovacs stepped forward. Our ships can reach them in 6 hours. We will handle this. June and General Han exchanged looks. With respect, June said carefully, a direct attack might put the hostages at risk. What do you suggest? Kovacs asked. A joint operation, June said. Your technology, our tactics. Kovacs seemed to consider this. You want to use your special forces approach? Yes, Quick, quiet, precise, Tavol spoke up. This is a serious situation. I must contact our high command. Of course, General Han said. But while you do that, we should start planning. Every minute counts. The next few hours were busy. The Variks contacted their leaders. Humans gathered equipment and studied the layout of the new horizon. June selected a team of 8 operators, 4 humans and 4 Variks. We need to work together perfectly, he told them during the planning session. One mistake could cost lives. Kovacs had agreed to be part of the team. The military advisor looked at the ship diagrams. The pirates will expect a rescue attempt, the alien noted. Yes, June agreed. But they'll expect a direct attack using force. They won't expect our approach. Which is? June pointed to a small maintenance hatch on the bottom of the ship. We'll enter here. It's barely big enough for one person at a time. They won't watch it closely. That's very small, Kovacs said, looking doubtful. That's why they won't expect it, June said with a small smile. Tizat had been quiet during the planning. Now the junior diplomat spoke up. I wish to join the mission, the alien said. Everyone looked surprised. Tizat was not a warrior. The alien was a diplomat, trained in words, not fighting. That's not a good idea, Dr. Yoon said gently. This will be very dangerous. 3 of the scientists on that ship are my friends, Tizat said firmly. I cannot sit here safely while they are in danger. June studied the alien carefully. He saw something in Tizat's posture. Determination. Will. Heart. You can come, he said finally. But you follow every order exactly. No questions, no delays. Understood, Tizat said. Tavol was not happy. This is not wise. Tizat has no combat training. Sometimes, June said, the most important thing in a mission isn't training. It's having something worth fighting for. 6 hours later, they were on a Variks ship, heading for the new horizon. The alien ship was much faster than anything humans had built. It also had special technology that made it hard to see on radar. June sat with his team, going over the plan one last time. We enter through the maintenance hatch. We move silently to the control room. We take out the pirates one by one. We free the hostages, we leave. Simple. Simple is good, said Min, one of the human operators. Simple plans have fewer things that can go wrong. But we must be ready if things do go wrong, June added. If we get separated, continue the mission. The hostages are the priority. Tizat sat nearby, listening carefully. The alien wore light armor borrowed from Kovacs. It looked too big. Are you ready? June asked Tizat. I think so, the alien said. But I still do not understand something. What's that? Why you call yourselves Cobras? I have studied this creature. It seems small compared to other dangerous animals on your planet. June checked his equipment as he answered. The Cobra doesn't need to be the biggest or the strongest. It's quick, it's precise. One bite and it's over. I see, Tizat said. And that is how you will fight these pirates? If we do this right, June said. We won't fight at all. We'll be in and out before they know what happened. The ship's pilot called back to them. We're approaching the target. They can't see us yet, but we need to move to the drop point slowly to avoid detection. Everyone tensed. This was it, the real thing. No more training, no more demonstrations. June looked at his mixed team of humans and Variks. Remember your training. Trust each other. Move like shadows. Strike like cobras. They put on their spacesuits and checked each other's gear. The humans helped the Variks with some of the smaller equipment that was hard to manage with their larger hands. We're in position, the pilot called. Ready to open the airlock. June turned to Tizat one last time. Stay close to me. Do exactly as I say. The alien's large eyes seemed to show understanding. I will. As they lined up at the airlock preparing to spacewalk to the new horizon, Tizat spoke again. Captain Kim, the alien said quietly. Yes? I believe I understand now. Why? Humans are the apex predator. Oh? June raised an eyebrow. Why's that? Because you do not wait for danger to find you. You go find it first. June smiled inside his helmet. Sometimes, he said, but only when we have something worth fighting for. The airlock opened, the keys. Darkness of space spread out before them. In the distance, they could see the new horizon floating silently. Let's go save our people, June said. All of them. And with that, they stepped into the void, moving toward the ship where both human and alien lives hung in the balance. Space was silent and cold around them. June led the team as they moved from the Varric ship toward the new horizon. Their spacesuits had special jets that let them move without ropes or lines. The Varric's technology was far better than anything humans had made. Stay in formation, June said quietly through the radio. Remember, they might be watching. The new horizon grew larger as they approached. It was a beautiful ship, built by humans and improved by Varrics. Its silver hull gleamed in the distant sunlight. But now it was in the wrong hands. I detect 8 heat signatures moving inside, Kovac said, using a special device built into the alien's helmet. That must be the pirates. The hostages are likely being held in the main lab area. That matches our information, June agreed. Let's find that maintenance hatch. They moved to the bottom of the ship. The hatch was small, just as June had said. It was meant for robots to use for repairs, not people. I'll go first, June said. Then Min, then Tizat. Kovacs, you and your team follow. June pulled himself to the hatch and worked on the lock. His fingers moved quickly despite the bulky gloves of his spacesuit. After a minute, the lock clicked. The hatch slid open. We're in, he said. Follow me. The passage was tight. June had to pull himself forward using handholds on the walls. Behind him, the others followed one by one. The humans fit through the narrow tube more easily than the Varrics, but Kovacs and the other aliens managed with some effort. Inside the ship, they removed their helmets but kept their suits on. The air was breathable, but they might need the suits. Again for a quick escape. Which way to the hostages? Tizat whispered. June checked a small screen on his wrist. It showed a map of the ship. 3 levels up, he said. We need to be very quiet. Sound carries in a ship. They moved through narrow service passages that ran between the main corridors. The pirates wouldn't know these small paths existed unless they had studied the ship's blueprints carefully. At one point they heard voices. 2 pirates walked past a vent near them. The team froze, not moving, barely breathing. This was too easy, one pirate said. They'll pay whatever we ask to get their precious scientists back. Don't get cocky, the other warned. We still need to get off the ship with the money. After the pirates passed, the team continued moving. They reached a ladder that would take them up to the next level. I'll go first, June said. Min, watch our backs. He climbed quickly but silently. Each movement was careful, tested before putting his full weight on it. At the top, he paused and listened. Nothing. He waved for the others to follow. On the second level, they almost ran into trouble. A pirate was checking systems in a small control room they needed to pass through. June signaled for everyone to stop. We need to take him out silently, he whispered. Kovacs, can you do it? The Varrics nodded. The alien moved forward with surprising grace for such a large being. The pirate never heard Kovacs coming. One quick move and the man was unconscious. Tie him up, June ordered. Gag him too. They continued upward. The third level was where the main lab was located. This was where the hostages would be. It was also where most of the pirates would be. We need to know exactly where everyone is, June said. He pulled out a small device that could see through walls using heat signatures. 4 pirates in the main lab. 3 more in nearby rooms. 1 on the bridge. And the hostages? Tizat asked anxiously. All in the main lab. They're sitting on the floor close together. June gathered everyone around him. We need to take out the 3 pirates outside the lab first. Then we hit the 4 inside at the same time. No shots if possible. Silent takedowns only. The team split into 3 groups. June and Tizat would handle 1 pirate. Min and another human would take the second. Kovacs and 2 Varrics warriors would take the third. On my mark, June said. 3, 2, 1, go. They moved like shadows. Years of training guided June's every step. He could feel Tizat following closely behind him. The alien was doing well, moving quietly despite no training. Their target was in a small break room drinking coffee and looking at a tablet. The man never saw June come up behind him. One quick move and the pirate was unconscious. "Good," June whispered to Tizat. "Now help me tie him up." The other teams reported success as well. 3 pirates down, 5 to go. "Now for the hard part," June said. The 4 in the lab with the hostages. They gathered outside the lab's main door. June could see inside through a small window. The hostages, both human and Varix, sat on the floor. 4 armed pirates stood around them. One seemed to be the leader, talking on a radio. "We'll use flashbangs," June decided. "They'll stun the pirates but won't hurt the hostages. We go in fast, take down the pirates before they recover." Everyone nodded. They all had their jobs. They all knew what to do. "Ready?" June asked. "Ready," they all replied. "Now." Min opened the door just a crack. June tossed in 2 small devices. There was a bright flash and a loud bang. Then the team rushed in. What happened next was like a well-practiced dance. Each team member targeted one pirate. June went for the leader. The man was still stunned from the flashbang. Before he could raise his gun, June had knocked it away and taken him down to the floor. In less than 10 seconds, all 4 pirates were subdued. None had fired a shot. None had time to react. The hostages looked up in shock and then relief. "Secure the room," June ordered. "Check the hostages for injuries." Tizat rushed to the Varix scientists. They chittered in their own language clearly, relieved to see a friendly face. "One more pirate on the bridge," Kovacs reminded them. "I'll handle it," June said. "Min, you're with me. Everyone else, prepare the hostages for evacuation." June and Min moved quickly to the ship's bridge. The last pirate had heard the commotion. He was frantic, trying to call his friends on the radio. When June and Min burst in, he raised his gun. "Drop it," June said calmly. "It's over." The pirate looked at them, then at his gun. For a moment, June thought he might shoot. But then the man's shoulders sagged. He dropped the weapon. "How?" he asked as Min secured his hands. "How did you get on board? We were watching everywhere." "Not everywhere," June said simply. Back in the lab, the hostages were being helped into emergency spacesuits. Some were injured, but none seriously. "Thank you," one of the human scientists said to June. "We thought we were going to die." "Not today," June said with a small smile. Tizat approached him. The alien seemed different somehow. More confident. "That was incredible," Tizat said. "You move so fast, so quiet, just like you said, like a cobra." "We had good help," June replied, nodding toward the Varix team members. "Yes, but it was your plan. Your tactics." Tizat's large eyes studied him. "Now I truly understand what makes humans the apex predator." "Oh?" June raised an eyebrow. "And what's that?" "You think differently. You find ways no one expects. You strike where no one is watching." June nodded. "That's part of it." The evacuation was almost ready. The pirates were being loaded onto one shuttle. The freed hostages would go on another. As they prepared to leave, Tizat had one more question. "When we first met, you could have told us about your large weapons, your armies, your ships, but you told us about the Cobra instead. Why?" June thought for a moment. "Because big weapons don't make you dangerous. Smart weapons don't make you dangerous. What makes you dangerous is how you think, how you adapt, how you strike." "Like the Cobra," Tizat said. "Like the Cobra," June agreed. 3 days later, back on Earth, the Varix delegation prepared to return to their own ship in orbit. The rescue mission had changed things between the two species. What had started as cautious diplomacy had become respect. Before leaving, Tavol, Tizat, and Kovacs met with June, Dr. Yun, and General Han one last time. "We have reported to our leaders," Tavol said. "We have told them that humans are not to be underestimated." "I hope that's a good thing," Dr. Yun said with a smile. It is, Kovacs assured her. It means we will treat you as equals, as valuable allies. Tazat stepped forward. In our reports, we have created a new classification for your species. Oh? General Han raised an eyebrow. And what's that? We have classified humans as the Cobras of Earth. It is a high honor. June smiled. We accept the honor. As the Vareks turned to leave, Tazat looked back at June one last time. When they asked about Earth's apex predator, the alien said, "You told them about the Cobra, but you weren't really talking about a snake, were you?" "No," June admitted. "I was talking about us, about what humans can become when we need to." Tazat nodded. "It is a good name for your species. Silent until threatened. Precise when you strike. Deadly when you must be." "Let's hope we never have to be," June said. "Yes," Tazat agreed. "Let us hope our species will always be friends, never enemies." "To friendship," June said, extending his hand in the human way. "To friendship," Tazat replied, carefully taking June's hand. And as the Vareks left Earth, they carried with them a new understanding of the planet's true apex predator, not the largest or the strongest creature, but the one that could adapt, think, and strike like a cobra. The end.